Today I'm going to help you figure out what is your course topic and how to figure out your course topic. I have a strategy that we're going to go over on how to figure out this sweet spot to figure out what your audience wants, what you're knowledgeable about, what your passions are, and how you're going to go about doing that, how to figure that out. We're also going to talk about how to use AI and how you can do that, how you can ask some of your friends on topic suggestions, and figuring out what skills you have. So jumping right into the sweet spot. Now the sweet spot is going to consist of 4 different categories. The first one is going to be your expertise and abilities. Number 2 is understanding your audience's problems and obstacles. 3 is your personal passion and inspiration. And then 4 is the profitability potential. Now for your expertise and abilities, you want to figure out what is things that you're good at. What are things that you have either learned or that you are just naturally good at. Things that you have either gotten results for yourself or results for clients. So maybe you yourself lost 100 pounds, or you've helped your clients lose weight, or you have decluttered your whole house and you have just gone from hoarder to nice and simple minimalist, or maybe you have paid off a ton of debt or helped other people pay off a ton of debt. That is going to be your expertise. Now, like I said, you only have to have done it yourself, or you've helped other people do it, or it's just something that you're naturally good at. Like maybe you're naturally an organized person. So you may not have come from hoarding, but you have always had a very naturally organized house, and people have been like, your house is always just so peaceful, so calming. How do I get my house to look like this? This is something that would fall under your natural ability. So figuring out what that is. Now, a lot of people think that they need to have degrees or certificates or different things like that. You are only going to need a 10% edge on your audience, a 10% edge, 10% ahead of your audience to be able to teach them in the course. So don't feel like that you need to go out and get all these certificates, all these degrees and master's degree and all this stuff. No, you only need that 10% edge to be able to show them your specific strategy, which we're going to talk about, and how you can teach them that information. Next is understanding your audience's problems and obstacles. So for this, you really want to tap into what are they struggling with? What are things that your audience is needing help on and needing that just encouragement, that motivation, that expertise on the education. What are their struggles? Now with this, you want to take time to empathize with your potential audience. You want to really tap into those pain points that they're struggling. That is going to help you both with marketing that we're going to talk about and with really helping them to solve that problem that they have. So if you're able to figure out the pain point, then you're able to figure out the solution as well. And if you just go straight to the solution, they're not going to be able to even sometimes realize that it's a pain point for them. Maybe they don't even realize that their house is cluttered, but if you're able to talk about the pain points and saying, you know, are you really just struggling with brain overwhelm and brain fog, and when you wake up in the morning, you just have a sink full of dishes and you just feel defeated before you even start your day. And that may be something that they are not even connecting the dots to overwhelm or clutter in their home. I personally struggled with this myself, where I have always been, you know, a type of person that clutter doesn't really bother me. But then when I do declutter and I do deep clean my house, when I wake up and I walk out to a pristine kitchen, I'm like, oh, this is really nice. So maybe it does bother me more than I think it does. So therefore, when I'm able to acknowledge that pain point, then I'm able to help with the solution. So if you're able to acknowledge those pain points for them, you can then guide them to the solution as well. If you want to go even deeper into ThriveCart, I have a free course that walks you through ThriveCart, setting up ThriveCart, all the ins and outs of ThriveCart. It's a over-the-shoulder type of view where you can see exactly what I'm doing click by click. It goes to the ins and outs of setting up a course, launching a course, and like I said, it is completely free, so definitely check it out down below in the description. And I do want to say, if you don't have ThriveCart yet, I have a link for 50% off of ThriveCart lifetime access, which is amazing about ThriveCart. There's other course platforms where you have to pay monthly or annual, but with ThriveCart lifetime access, and I have a link for 50% off. I do receive a small commission if you use my link, but like I said, you get the 50% off discount for using the link, and you help support me and my family, and so I can continue creating free videos like this for you and free courses like the one down below in the description. So check it out, check out the course, and check out ThriveCart if you have not already. Next is profitability potential. Now, a lot of times when people are creating courses, a mistake they make is they want it to be a totally new, never before seen problem that they're solving, and a new course that's not out there, that no one's ever heard of, just something that is just out of this world, new and creative and amazing. And while that sounds great, oftentimes you're going to have problem with selling it because people don't know what they don't have an issue with, or they don't know that they need it if it's not already out there. So if there are already books on this topic, podcasts on this topic, different things on other courses, YouTube videos, all those things on this topic already, and people are watching that and engaging with that and buying that, then that's amazing. Now you're going to be able to bring your own spin on things, your own expertise, your own stories, your own experiences, your own unique way of doing whatever it is. So even though there may be thousands of books on this topic already, or other courses on this topic already, don't be afraid to put your course out there, because like I said, you're going to be able to put your own spin on things. So the fact that there are other courses on this, the fact that there are other books or other podcasts or different things like that, that's actually a really good thing, because that's showing that people want it and people know to look online for this information. And they're already willing to pay for a solution. So that is a win-win right there. Next is your passion and inspiration. So what is something that lights you up? What is something that you are really excited to talk about, or that you get a lot of energy out of and you enjoy sharing about this topic? Maybe it's something that you overcome yourself, or something that you have learned about and you have been able to pay off your own debt, or you've been able to get your toddler to sleep through the night, or different things like that. But you want to create a course that you are genuinely enthusiastic about and genuinely lights you up. And that's going to shine through as you're creating the course. Now, this doesn't have to be your biggest passion in the world and the thing that you're most passionate about, but it is something that needs to excite you and something that isn't draining you, so that you're not dreading creating this course and you're not like, oh, I don't want to work on it. I don't want to do this. I hate this topic. No, I don't like this. No, we want to do something that lights you up, that is exciting you, and you are just passionate about it. So with all this, by combining your skills, by understanding your audience, evaluating your profit potential, and following your passion, you'll be able to find a course topic that resonates with both you and your future students. Next, we're going to talk about niching down. Now, a niche is a topic or a category of content online. So we want to niche down. Now, this is something that is typically very scary for people. We have the mindset that if we are broad, we're going to attract more people, right? So the more broad our topic is, the more people that we're able to help. Now, that sounds right in theory, but actually it's the opposite. The more broad we are, the more we speak to no one. So if we are niching down, then we are going to be specifically speaking to someone. So for example, if you want to create a course on beauty, so you're like, this is a beauty course, the ultimate beauty course. Sounds great, right? There are plenty of people out there that want to learn about makeup, want to learn about skincare, right? But if you do a course specifically on makeup and skincare for women over 40, how to not let your makeup be cakey. That is something that I struggle with, and that would be amazing and something that I really resonate with. Or how to reduce fine lines and wrinkles, or how to get rid of your under eye bags, or how to do makeup to get rid of your under eye bags, or how to do your makeup in a humid climate. Now that is super niche down, because not everyone lives in a humid climate. I live in Florida, so that is something that I struggle with having my makeup melt off my face. So if I'm able to learn how to do that, especially since I know that they have the expertise to live in a humid climate, that's right there. That may be one of my pain points of, I see other people talking about not having your makeup melt away, but they don't live in a humid climate, so they don't understand my particular struggles with that. So the fact that you're niching down, that's really going to help to make them feel like, holy cow, they're talking directly to me. They know exactly my pains and struggles. This is the course for me. Or maybe personal finance. You may say, I want to make a course on personal finance, the ultimate personal finance guide. Okay, But does it talk about debt? Does it talk about investing? Does it talk about real estate? Does it talk about credit cards? Does it talk about saving money? What does it talk about? Whereas if you are doing a course on how to credit card churn and get all of your vacations for free, okay, sign me up for that. Or how to retire off dividends, sign me up for that. That's going to be a lot more niche down, but it's going to be a lot more detailed. Or how to trade options. That goes way over a lot of people's heads. So they want to know specifically not how to invest. They may know how to invest in dividends or index funds, but they don't know how to do options. So that is something that is super detailed. Whereas this person over here is like, I'm gonna set it and forget it for my investments. I do not want to do anything that is not passive, and I just have money recurring going in and I just don't think about it. Options are not for me. Okay, that's great that it's not for them. But these other people over here are dying to learn about options, and they will gladly pay money to learn about it. Or maybe weight loss. So maybe you are a personal trainer or helping people figure out how to lose weight. Rather than just doing a weight loss course, maybe you want to do a course on losing weight after having a baby, or how to heal your abs after a C-section. That would be great right there. So having something that is super specific is really going to help separate you and help that person that you are trying to target speak directly to them. Now, another thing with this is when you're doing your marketing and when you're figuring out your course topic, you want to be speaking to one person. So when you're doing your sales page, and we're going to talk about sales pages and everything later, but when you're doing that and when you're creating your course and when you're filming your course, you are talking to one person. You're not talking to everyone in a broad sense. You're not even talking to all of the course students. You want to make it so it's one person, so that way they feel like you're talking directly to them right through the camera, and they feel personal and they are able to really resonate with it. If you're still struggling of your course topic, then here's some questions that you can ask yourself. Where am I currently earning income for my time and expertise? What methods or strategies do I use with my current clients to get results? What are my reoccurring questions that I frequently receive? What subjects do people consistently seek my advice on, wanting to quote unquote pick my brain? Are there any course topics that someone else is teaching effectively, which I am confident that I can present uniquely and expertly? Can I identify a personal transformation I've undergone or I could share with others, guiding them through a similar journey? Another thing that I like to do is text my friends and ask them these questions and help them tap into my expertise, because a lot of times your friends and family know you a lot better than you know yourself, or know your skills or are able to see those skills. We're like, what? That's just common. Everyone does that. And they're like, nope, everyone doesn't do that. So text your friends these questions. What is something you would come to me for advice about? When you think of me, what is something you think I'm good at? What is something you would consider me an expert at? Then after you get the results from your friends, you can put this into AI. So you can put it into ChatGPT, put down all the answers that your friends gave you and say, can you give me 5 course topics that I can do that will set me apart with my expertise? Then once you have the ideas that it gave you, then you can pick the one that lights you up the most. Now here's your homework. I want you to open up the Notes app on your phone and brainstorm over the next week. Every time that you get a random idea for a course topic or a module lesson or something that you're good at, put it in the app. Just brain dump. Just anytime that pops up, put it there for the next week. And you're going to notice that as you are subconsciously thinking about this, new ideas are going to pop up. Sometimes you may have to pull over on the side of the road because a random idea will pop up, or in the shower, or whatever it may be, or washing dishes, but put them in the Notes app over the next week. You can also set a timer and do a 15-minute brain dump and say, okay, for the next 15 minutes, whatever ideas come to my head, anything, no matter how crazy they are, I'm going to write them down and put them and just do a brain dump that is super casual. And you'll be surprised at, as you get going, the ideas are going to be flowing. And make sure that you do it for the whole amount that you're doing the timer, for the full 15 minutes. A lot of times that we do it and then after like 2 minutes, we're like, okay, I can't think of anything else. Nope. Keep going, keep writing, and that's going to help the ideas flow, and you'll be surprised at what comes after like minute 12. All the good ideas are going to be coming out. Check out the description box for tons of resources and discount links for you. Also, let's keep the conversation going. If you want to see how to outline and plan your online course lessons, how to plan them all out, so that way you can be so confident when you're creating and filming the course, check out this video here.